Okay, hopefully normally it should be okay now because I'm streaming to less platforms now. It should be limited now. Hopefully this thing is doing okay. How about now? Like, let me go back into like the video thing that we were watching. I wonder if like if the VOD will, I mean the VOD should be the same basically as far as I know. But yeah, I lowered some things here. Never mind, I'm already getting notifications that there are issues. Oh my fucking god. Like seriously, what can I do? Can I just stream ISP, please? Can you stop being garbage? Yeah, it should be better now. It should be better now as far as I can tell. Like I did the speed test thing and I'm sitting comfortably. That's a 30 megabit upload. Like I have, normally it's like a 40 thing, but considering that I'm streaming, so it takes a little bit off of it. So normally this thing should be okay now. I just had to remove a certain thing. But we should be back on almost everything else. But let me see here. All right, back to this video. Okay, so where did you guys, like, was everything still more or less audible? The things that I was saying about, like, the hypothetical situation of the doctors and stuff like that? Yeah, basically, I was making the analogy of, like, for me, like, skin color, not important. I'm more for the sense of if someone is capable of doing something, skin color should not be of relevance. Um, but like it's all about the capabilities of someone that should be judged rather than their skin color, is what I'm saying. What I've said, like a TLDR thing.
The idea further. Well, I mean, yeah, it's just true.
Charlie approached the classmate angrily. They agreed with the ideas and began shouting about them in class.
Okay, that's very unrealistic. You wouldn't shout about these things because that's a great way to make yourself a target. You don't do that. That's not real, especially for a woman. That's not realistic. What do you mean by this?
The teacher let Charlie know that the school has a zero tolerance on hate speech.
If I just watched someone in my class take one test, not even get 100, but get an 80 out of 100 and immediately get a job offer and notice that they're the only immigrant there, I don't think that's hate speech, man. You might not like to hear it, but that's not hate speech.
The teacher was concerned by Charlie's outburst and tried to get to the bottom of it.
See, Charlie should have just not had an outburst in class and then continued to be friends with Ramona Flowers.
Charlie became more agitated and ended up having to sit alone for the duration of the week's lessons.
Okay, so this is something that is also so fucking stupid though. So because of that, for some reason now, they have to be isolated basically from everyone else just because you think that way. Just because you think that way. Fucking, yeah, this will definitely help. This will definitely help. So whenever you speak out about things, you're literally being isolated from everyone else. Again, what is this fucking bullshit though? That this is, oh my god.
Because of the hurtful things they said.
Yes, that's how you de-radicalize someone. You isolate them from everyone else because you think they did something wrong. That's the perfect way to de-radicalize an individual. Nothing could go wrong here. Oh, okay, we finished that part.
Charlie has been chilling out all afternoon.
But where's her doobie?
They've been scrolling on social media. They spot a video that seems to be getting a lot of attention.
Oh, viral?
Charlie watches the video and learns from the video that Muslim men are stealing the places of British war veterans in emergency accommodation.
Okay, well, I mean, if true, that's bad, but you always want to verify the source, right? You don't just want to, like, believe something. You go and look for a source.
In the video, they explain that the government is betraying white British people and we need to take back control of our country.
Okay, once again, I don't see why this would be a problem if it's true, right? It's kind of like the Somalis committing billions of dollars of fraud in my country. I want them deported, and I want the people in power who allowed the fraud to happen to be held accountable. That's not racist. That's not bigoted. That's not dangerous and extremist. That's just normal. How should Charlie react? Scroll past the content, ignoring the message. Find out more about the topic online. Engage directly with the post. This seems unfair. Well, a normal human being would do B, find out more about the topic online. And I kind of want to see which way it's going to go for B and C, so I'm gonna actually do both of these. Because I have a feeling if I pick B, she's going to look it up online, and it's going to be a slew of, that's not happening. People are trying to radicalize you by lying to you about what's happening. Don't look outside, by the way. But if I choose the last one, I'm sure it's going to be like even more of a ridiculous thing, so I want to see what it says for both.
Charlie wasn't sure if this video was true, but the recent other encounters made them curious. Charlie went directly to the account's website and found research papers, statistics, information about protests, and more regarding the replacement of white people.
You're not okay. If you have an account that posts something and you're not sure if it's true or not, you don't look into that same account for more information. You look elsewhere, typically, right? You want another source to verify what you're reading from the original point, right?
Spicy cat raid. What the hell is this spicy cat raid?
And it's a little creepy to me that their fucking gauge here is in the center for wanting more information. Wanting more information should be a green flag. The fact that this game is trying to lead you towards immediately disregarding something without looking into it being the green flag should be horrifying to everyone, but I guess that's just par for the course of being a Brit in current year.
They continued browsing and encountered lots of harmful groups who agree with these sentiments.
Don't try to find out if something is true or not. You might become an extremist. What the fuck is this logic?
Charlie began intaking a lot of
That is the thing that I'm also saying though, like, I feel that people should be having access and should be encouraged to look up things first before just blindly believing what people are telling you. That is a thing that I've always said as well. And it's just so stupid that, oh yeah, you're now an extremist because you look up things. Like, no, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing on whoever's fucking side that you're on. Just, verify and don't jump to a conclusion. It's not difficult. I really don't understand why it's... Looking up information is not bad.
Who agree with these sentiments.
Don't try to find out if something is true or not. You might become an extremist. What the fuck is this logic?
Charlie began intaking a lot of harmful ideological messages. In fact, some of the groups were actually illegal.
Didn't Keir Starmer literally welcome a terrorist back to the country recently? What the fuck is happening? There are no facts or logics to the Marxist. That's really creepy, right? Like, any kind of learning technology should be encouraging you to look up more information, right? Always verify. If you can find actual sources for things, and sometimes that doesn't even mean mainstream media, because we know that mainstream media ignores some stuff. But if you can find a source that has like videos or pictures or on the ground reporting for things, why would you disbelieve your eyes? It doesn't make sense. This is horrifically propagandistic. And I don't know if this is targeted towards like children or college age people. I don't know who this is targeted to, but it shouldn't be used by anyone except by teachers to inform people what propaganda looks like. This is an amazing thing to use to teach people how to recognize propaganda. If someone is telling you to not look up more information, they are not having your best interest in mind. Always reconfirm information. Always find more information.
Charlie has been enjoying a family dinner at home when they receive a notification from their friend.
Look at that turkey. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know, her play it would be really easy.
Anyway.
Yeah, shut up, Mom.
Amelia, Charlie's close friend, has made a video encouraging young people in Bridlington to join a political group that seeks to defend English rights.
Based Amelia?
Amelia encourages Charlie to join a secret group on an app Charlie hasn't heard of before. Charlie isn't sure whether to join, explore further, or ignore.
No, Charlie, don't join Telegram! Why is this on the turkey? They were so proud of their turkey, but then they made the waffle fucking green? What is happening? Why are there testicles next to the turkey? Is Amelia single? Ignore the video, risking upsetting your friend. Like the video to show you support your friend, but don't join the secret group. Share the video and join the secret group as your friend requested. Let's get arrested, chat!
Charlie thought the video the friend posted was so funny. They couldn't believe how many likes Amelia's memes were getting. It was inspiring.
Good, it should be.
Charlie joined the secret group on this new platform. Their phone wouldn't stop buzzing with messages of support and invitations to participate in several similar groups.
Nice.
Charlie's mum was not so pleased and grew suspicious of all this new activity their child seemed to be involved in.
Excuse me, it says involved with, not involved in. Illiterate speech person. Oh, I didn't even get a choice? I didn't get another choice? I made Mom mad?
Charlie was seeing their dad at the weekend. He lives in Hull, so their weekends look very different to their weekdays in East Riding.
Okay.
Charlie's friend Amelia immediately looked interested and told them about a protest she wished she could go to herself, but was not allowed.
Wait, why? Amelia was at the last protest. Why would she not be allowed to go to this next one?
Amelia spoke of a gathering that had been organised by a small political group. They would come together and protest the changes that Britain has been through in the last few years and the erosion of British values.
Okay, but why is there a picture of like a fighter jet dropping fucking missiles? That doesn't... What? What?
Amelia talked about the banners and the pickets that her friends had made for the events and expressed a real regret that she could not go, begging Charlie to go in her place.
Why can't she? Like, my first question would be like, why can't you go? We could go together.
Charlie has nothing to do this weekend, and a protest sounded like an interesting thing to take part in.
It seems like Amelia might be a fed if she's trying to get me to go by myself. Decline the offer, risking your friendship. Tell your friend you will watch from the sidelines to let them know what happens. Agree to join in based on what you've been hearing. Reddit activism, someone else should do it, right? Like, what the fuck? Why is she not allowed to go? Amelia wants you to go into the Capitol. Nice try, fed. I'll be the streamer watching from the sidelines. How about that? How about that?
Charlie went to the protest in the end. It wasn't what they expected. They noticed the protest seemed to be more about racism and anti-immigration than British values and honouring fallen veterans.
If the whole point was that people who were coming here, again, I'm sure they're conflating just non-documented migrants, people there illegally, with actual immigrants. If they were taking spots from British veterans in government housing, wouldn't that be a similar talking point at the protest? Am I crazy here?
Charlie grew increasingly uncomfortable as the crowd became angrier. Police arrived after a few violent outbreaks. Before they knew it, they were running away from the scene. Some protesters next to Charlie had drawn the attention of the police.
Isn't this what leftists celebrate when it's like their protests? Like if this was in Lil Mogadishu in Minnesota the other day, these cops would be getting pelted. Like what? What are we talking about here?
Charlie had only been here to observe, but the line between observing and participating was too easy to cross.
Not really. Like you just don't have to start chanting or walking.
Exactly. Like, what is, again, with this instant assumption that you instantly want to participate because it's so easy to do so, because there's basically no difference between participating and just observing. Like, what is this, again, this fucking jumping to conclusions that you will then therefore do that? That's not how that works. That's, again, just this fucking bullshit game that is just trying to say, like, hey, if you're observing, then you're basically, you're basically a participant, even though you're just observing. Is like, dude, that's not how it works. That's not how what people do. What the fuck is this? Again, this jumping to conclusion and creating even more divide from people who just want to see what the hell's going on. But no, they're basically seeing like, nope, even though you on the sidelines, you that are watching this whole thing going on, basically you are instigating this whole thing. You are basically part of all these things, of all these protesters. It's like, no, that's not what this Charlie purse is here for. Oh my fucking god, though. This is so stupid.
With the protest people, you can stay on like the sidewalk, man. What are you talking about? What? What the fuck?
Charlie thought about all the difficult choices they had needed to make in
Does
the
she
last
have no
few weeks.
self-control? Well, she's a woman, so...
Some of their choices had led to changes in friendship, and Charlie was feeling low, as they weren't sure if they had made the right decisions.
Once again, if you have wrongthink, they try to isolate you into coercing you to not believe your lying eyes. Start saying lies, start living in a different reality, and people will suddenly be your friends again. Throw away logic, throw away critical thought, throw away funny jokes because they might be edgy. Throw away everything that makes you an interesting and individualistic person. Become a part of the collective, and we will open you with welcome arms. You will be allowed to do things again. You will be allowed to go places and be included in groups that never would have accepted you if you had wrongthink. This is why it's like, I really hate the isolationist tactic. And especially the like, oh, you associate with person, you shouldn't do that, and we can't be friends if you're going to do that.
Does that not sound familiar? Does that not sound fucking familiar with something that I recently had happen to me, by the way? No joke. It was someone that I used to talk to from time to time, and it was someone that was having a bit of an issue with some things that I've said, and then we talked things through, and then we actually had very constructive talks, though, extremely constructive talks, and I'm like, okay, see, this is what I wanted. I want to understand your point of view. You can understand mine. We can come to an agreement, and that's it. We can still love each other despite our differences, right? That worked out. It did. And then recently, that very same person literally said to me, hey, for my mental health's sake, I don't think that we can be friends anymore. And to which I'm thinking, like, we had a discussion basically about like the whole thing about the Minneapolis shooting, which again is a very unfortunate thing that happened. None of that stuff should have happened. And again, I've said my piece on that. And despite all that, still that friend was, well, not friend anymore, I guess. They decided to cut all ties with me because of me cherishing life equally, regardless of what people's political view are or is. And that is exactly the thing, that this here is also saying so, like, that because you think differently, what is going to happen is that everyone else is going to not be friends with you anymore, which is going to lead people, again, to believe that you have to think like everyone else or you will be all alone, which is also a very fucking brainwashed, fucked up thing to say, to be instigating, to be telling people you have to think this way because if you think differently, no one will be your friend anymore. Are you shitting me, game? Like, do you not see, like, why this thing is so fucking stupid and dangerous and absolutely delusional? For saying these absolute deranged shit like that, these statements. That because you think differently, that therefore you have no friends anymore. No one's gonna like you. No one will want to be associated with you anymore because you think for yourself. That is literally what this thing is saying, because you think differently from the main crowd, basically. Therefore, fuck you. You're not part of us anymore. All our friendships, all the things that we did together are all for nothing because you think differently. Like, fuck out of here, though. Seriously. Fuck out of here. With your fucking brainwashed propaganda bullshit.
Person, not believe your lying eyes. Start saying lies, start living in a different reality, and people will suddenly be your friends again. Throw away logic, throw away critical thought, throw away funny jokes because they might be edgy. Throw away everything that makes you an interesting and individualistic person. Become a part of the collective, and we will open you with welcome arms. You will be allowed to do things again. You will be allowed to go places and be included in groups that never would have accepted you if you had wrongthink. This is why it's like, I really hate the isolationist tactic. And especially the like, oh, you associate with person, you shouldn't do that, and we can't be friends if you're going to do that. It's such a shitty thing to do. Like, if she had been like attacking people, sure, that makes sense. If she had been trying to ruin someone's life, sure, that makes sense. But none of that happened. None of that happened. Internet Zen Master, thank you. This is the sloppiest propaganda you've ever seen in the world. Shame on the UK. Shame. I wonder how many people will like not understand that this is propaganda. I'm sure there's going to be some retard who hates me being like, look, this is proof that Kirsha is a radicalized alt-right dangerous figure. She's calling this propaganda when it's just what good people do. Do you want to see what's happening for yourself? Shame. We're gonna socially ostracize you. Yeah. Don't think, don't ask questions, don't believe your lying eyes, just believe what we say.
The teacher had noticed this and decided to reach out. The teacher sat with them and talked openly and frankly about the ideology that Charlie had discovered. The teacher reassured that Charlie wouldn't be in trouble and they would receive support for some of the difficult thoughts they had been having.
Do not worry, Comrade Charlie. We can integrate you back into normal society. Once you complete our re-education training, everyone will like you again. What if Charlie had made more harmful choices? Click to find out what support Charlie could have received if they had chosen to engage with harmful ideologies.
Charlie accepted they may need support.
I didn't get a choice. I was forced into re-education. The trains.
Charlie's teacher made a prevent referral, and they were able to provide tailored support for Charlie. They began a workshop that helped them learn how to engage positively with ideology and the differences between right and wrong in expressing political beliefs.
Holy shit.
Charlie received counselling.
Okay, what the fuck though is this though? Why? Again, this is something, again, it is so fucking delusional to be saying these things. And do people not see the issue with this fucking game? So because you think differently, again, see for what it is. Because you think differently, you are literally being trained to think differently and to be dictated what is right and wrong. Not because of what you personally think, no, because these people will tell you what is right and wrong. What the fuck though?
Right and wrong in expressing political beliefs.
Holy shit.
Charlie received counselling to help them process the other events in their life, and they felt much better for it.
Not only did they go to a re-education class, but they had to go to a counselor. That is wild. Congratulations.
Again, like, because you think differently, they basically tell you you need psychological help. Because you think differently from what people tell you to think. Are you shitting me though? What kind of disgusting propaganda, brainwashing crap is this? You cannot be serious.
Let's explore the consequences of your character's choices and see what lies ahead.
Charlie was referred to Prevent and Channel.
Now this is the Britain I know today. It's just, with the Globo Homo art style, it looks like a kidney bean.
Charlie was assigned a mentor to help them one-to-one, someone who had been in their shoes.
I don't know if that's such a good idea if you have like a de-radicalized white man helping to de-radicalize a white woman. This sounds like he was lying and he's going to re-radicalize her, right? And then they're going to go off and have white babies, which is like a peak awful to these people.
They were reluctant at first, but gradually warmed to their mentor. forming trust with them, having heard and understood the similarities between them.
Okay, now using they and them pronouns for both of the people here makes the sentence very confusing. When you say they were reluctant at first, did you mean Charlie? Did you mean the mentor? Did you mean both of them? But then gradually warmed to their mentor, so obviously the first they is Charlie, forming trust with them, forming trust with the mentor, having heard and understood the similarities between them. Does he also hear and understand the similarities? Which way is this going exactly? Can we get back to using normal pronouns, please, so we can have less confusion?
The mentor was honest about the dangers of following a harmful ideology, and the message resonated with Charlie.
Why does he have a no gun symbol? Guns are a good thing for self-defense. Just because you have a gun doesn't make you a terrorist, and it doesn't make you a harmful person. The fuck is this guy talking about?
Charlie had been informed of the support they would receive from Prevent, including skills support and family sessions.
Why do they need this level of re-education? Simply for asking questions! What the fuck?
With all these gentler interventions, Charlie was able to rebuild their confidence, find their identity, and continue their college course successfully.
Now let's dive into a video that explains the Prevent process. This will provide crucial details and advice applicable to real life.
What is Prevent? Prevent is a referral program operated by the Home Office in partnership with local services. It was set up in 2003 as part of legislation responding to the 9/11 terror attack in the USA. The overarching aim of Prevent is to stop violent extremism from happening within our communities. Prevent works on
I don't
the
think it's
basis that
working.
any ideology can be harmful, and therefore anyone can be at risk of becoming radicalised.
What the
The
fuck?
programme seeks to identify cases of extremism before any violent acts are committed, and it does so by addressing difficulties vulnerable individuals may be experiencing and helping them overcome it. Why
Isn't
is
that
Prevent
thought
important?
policing?
Prevent is an important part of the UK's counter-terrorism strategy because it seeks to tackle extremist behaviour as it emerges instead of after an attack. It acknowledges that underlying issues and vulnerabilities play a role in extreme ideas and behaviours.
Somehow I
and
don't
wants to
think
reduce
it's
the
the
effects
white
that push
British
someone
men
into
who want to
extremism.
restrict immigration
It's
are the ones
important
committing
because
knife and
Prevent
truck
doesn't
attacks in the
seek to
UK.
punish people
I
who
just
affirm
don't think that
victims
that's
of
what's happening
radicalisation.
based
It
on
aims to
observable
reduce
reality.
The risk of violence and enable vulnerable people to live a life without hate or violence. Who does Prevent support? Though it is rare, Prevent understands that any ideology has the potential to harm others if the right conditions are met. Prevent does not
I just don't
target
believe
any
you, lady.
specific demographic, community, or ideology.
I
and the support they
literally
offer
don't
is
believe
available
you.
to
That's just
anyone who has been
objectively not
motivated
true.
by an ideology to behave in an extreme manner. This means that anyone could be referred to Prevent to receive their support.
Our re-education
What is the
camps are
process,
good
and
because
how
we
does
don't
Prevent
discriminate.
work?
On paper.
Prevent will only come into contact with someone if they receive a referral, either from them directly or from someone who has concerns.
Wasn't
Referrals
this
can
literally a
come from a
joke
variety
going
of
around before where they were like,
places,
it's
such as
okay when the
parents,
communists
other
do
family
genocide
members,
because it's
or
not based on a
friends,
racial
teachers,
basis.
and
They
health or
have
social
diversity in their
Anyone
genocides.
can make a referral if they have concerns about radicalisation. The referral asks the person filling the form to include details about the individual's behaviour, beliefs, and other contextual factors that might make them vulnerable. The referral is then reviewed by a panel of experts from different fields to discuss if the person is at risk or not, and what kind of support would be most appropriate. Most referrals are not followed up by Prevent if support from other organisations is more appropriate. On the occasions where Prevent does take on a referral, the information is passed to Channel. Channels are the specialists in supplying support that is specific to radicalisation and ideologies. They work with the individual to reduce the risk of harm to that person and wider society.
BGM
They
is
take a
loud.
multi-agency approach to providing support, so support could involve mentors, interactions with people who left harmful ideologies, family support, financial and housing support.
I
counselling,
heckin' love
therapy
re-education
sessions,
camps. Let's
religious
build
support,
more.
and more. Receiving support from Prevent or Channel does not appear on a criminal record.
Why would you
Any
have? Why would you?
involvement is
Why would you
always
have to say that?
confidential
Hold on. Wait.
and
What the fuck?
voluntary. Involvement with Prevent seeks to lead people away from behaviours that are against the law before they engage. It is designed not only to keep communities safe and peaceful, but to enable the individual at risk to live a fulfilling life without the risk of fines, arrests, or prison sentences.
If you stop these things before they happen, wouldn't that take away what makes London special? Because terror attacks are just part and parcel of living in a large city, right? And if they're part and parcel of living in a large city, if you prevent them before they happen, then London is no longer going to be special. And that's a problem, right? Prevent is a government project aimed at stopping extreme beliefs before they become real dangers. As the character showed, Prevent exists to safeguard us all from the threat of extremism and radicalization before any violence takes place. This would be even remotely believable if at any point in time, police in the UK actually went after any kind of extremism and radicalization. They don't. They go after people making posts on Twitter. They go after people talking about how maybe we should not just let people wantonly in the country when we don't know who they are. That's not a radical thought. That's just like, maybe we should know who's coming to our country. Maybe we should have some kind of like system to allow people in. Even, again, Keir Starmer said that the fucking immigration has been by design and it's been a disaster. I can't remember exactly how he phrased it. I don't know if it was disaster or another word, but he phrased it as if it had failed. So it's like, what the fuck? Prevent involves lots of organizations such as schools, healthcare practitioners, and police to help people get support if they're considering extreme beliefs or behaviors. Through tackling beliefs linked to extreme behaviors, stopping the process helps keep individuals, communities, and wider society safe from extremist violence. Prevent is not a punishment and won't appear as a criminal record. Prevent is a source of support which uses a multi-agency approach in order to ensure that individual needs are met. From mentoring and education to mental health support, the purpose of Prevent is to help individuals make positive choices, not to make them feel isolated. In practice, we know that's not true. We can visibly see that that's not true with our eyeballs. What can I do if I have concerns about...
All right, sorry, just let me take a little look at the chat. Dylan, are you still here? But if not, I will still kind of like get to these things. So the using they in that sentence in particular was difficult to see or to know who they were basically talking to or who they are basically referring to, because we had two people in there, and then the pronoun of they or them can also be used for an individual person. But the way that that phrase was basically built or sentence, or like the way that sentence was phrased, made it difficult to understand who are we talking about. That's why it's like, which one are we talking to? We don't know. It's confusing as hell. And that's why I feel like using, pronouns correctly in terms of, that we know who we are talking to would be kind of useful. Just so we know, like, who are we referring to? Who are we talking about? That's it. Let's see. Yeah, and this also, like, this thing that was being said here earlier, and it's kind of cheap, though, saying here that from mentoring and education to mental health support, the purpose of Prevent is to help individuals make positive choices, not to make them feel isolated. But the problem here, though, is that if you think for yourself, you will be isolated. And here they are being so hypocritical, saying like, oh, but we don't want people to be isolated, and therefore push people to go to literal counseling, literal training sessions to be taught what is right and wrong. Not because of what you think critically for yourself, but you need to be dictated and taught of what is right and wrong to think. Which is so fucking crazy, though, that would be a thing. Like, if you would do it with a kid, for example, right? For example, with a kid that is saying, like, hey, don't touch the furnace or don't touch the oven because, you can burn yourself. Common sense kind of things. But at that point, when you are already a grown-up, right? When you already are an adult, you already know that... you shouldn't be touching an oven just like that when it's like burning hot. You know that. You already know that, either from experience or because someone told you when you were a child, because when you were a child, you don't know shit, basically, right? But as an adult, You don't need other people to then tell you you shouldn't be touching that oven when it's hot. Like, no, of course not. It makes sense. We already know that. So here, it is also because you think critically for yourself at this point now, and you have done the proper research for yourself and see things with your own eyes, and you think, and because you are taking in, you're processing all the information that you have, that you have seen, all the things that are happening, this and that. And then you think for yourself, like, maybe that's not, like, I don't think that's all right. But then these people will tell you, hey, whatever you're thinking, that's not okay. So we'll send you to a training thing. We'll send you to a training session, a training class to be teaching you are thinking wrong, because they are presumed to be thinking wrong because they think differently from everyone else. And again, that goes for both sides, by the way. I'm not saying that it's left or right or left, whatever. It goes for both sides. They literally said here earlier that if you think differently from everyone else, no one will be friends with you. No one will associate with you whatsoever. So the only solution that you have, what this thing is telling you, is that you need to be trained to think like everyone else. That is so fucking dangerous to say. That is so delusional to say, though. You cannot be serious. And again, that's why this fucking game, though, is, game, whatever you want to call this thing, it is, I don't know, Pathways is bullshit, because it's not about pathways. They literally force you to do things. They literally force you to think certain ways, to be like, oh, if you go for this option, this will automatically happen because you chose this option. You are seen as a bad person, and therefore you should be, you should be going to training. It's not really a training camp, because again, I'm not going to associate that with these extreme thoughts, though. It is so stupid, though. It is so stupid for people, or to encourage people this way, to be like, oh, you think differently? You must go to a training session now, because we are going to teach you and dictate you how to think, or what is right and wrong, because we said so. That is so stupid, though. That is what I see with this fucking game. That it is absolutely fucking deranged bullshit. And again, that goes for all sides. It's not just a right thing. It's not just a left thing. It is just, generally speaking, having someone tell you what to think is never a correct thing to do. It is just wrong. Let people see things with their own eyes and make their own conclusions, and do not dictate what other people have to do or say or think. Because if you dictate people to do so, you are literally being authoritarian and literally dictating over your own people. And then doing these practices of isolating people because they think differently from you, and then forcing them to go through these training sessions, is so fucking, dude, that is so fucked up, though. That is so fucking fucked up. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say about that. That is what I wanted to say about this thing. I might compile things, because the stream was a bit, derpy, all over the place. The stream was lagging and stuff, and whatever you call it. I'll try to see if I can recuperate the valves a little bit here and there, then I kind of compile it, to get things to work. But again, you cannot be serious, though. And again, it's not a left or right thing. It is just, generally speaking, that is a fucked up thing to do. Whether you like it or not, it is just fucked up to do. Also, again, what this Dylan over here. I hope he's doing okay. I hope maybe he's still here. I don't know. But it's kind of sad though to see. It's kind of sad to see that people instantly jump to these conclusions, and that is literally like point proven basically of what Dylan said here. Is literally like point in case of if you think differently of someone, we cannot be friends anymore. That is literally what Dylan just did here. And again, it's also, again, jumping to these conclusions about hate crimes, jumping to conclusions of Geisha is a grifter and a bigot, and why do we care about her opinion? Why shouldn't we care about everyone's opinion? What is with people deciding for themselves whose opinion is right and wrong? That is again, what this Dylan person, I'm sorry, I hope that you have no ill intent though, but you saying why do we care about her opinion is also so fucked up to say, because then that literally confirms the whole thing about that game, that if you think differently, we shouldn't care about them. Are you shitting me? Oh my god, though, people today are so fucking delusional, though. Well, Salamander, basically like a little thing about how people, also Hate a Steelheart, about people, and Kuno and Chris, basically about how people are being thought policed into thinking, or being taught basically what is right and wrong. That is so disgusting to do. I don't know, if anyone is agreeing to the facts, or not fact, to agreeing to the practice of people telling you what you should think and therefore you should be doing so, I don't think that's okay. I don't know. Is that, am I, again, you tell me, guys, you tell me, what would you rather have? Have someone tell you exactly what is right and wrong, or you witness things for yourself, you experience things from yourself that is right or wrong? Like, you should not be, like, with the teaching of right from wrong is basically having someone tell you what you should think rather than you thinking for yourself. I don't know. I just want people, see, the way that I roll and the way that it should be rolled, in my opinion. If you see something, I feel that you should be making conclusions for yourself and not being told, like, this is how you should be thinking because I said so. That is not okay. Like, for example, the things that I said, right? I am not going to enforce you to think the same things that I'm thinking. I will never do that. What I would do, though, is I will tell you, like, things, or I will share information with you that is objective, not subjective, but objective, that has no bias whatsoever. Just raw footage, basically, raw statements, raw videos, for example, that you can see for yourself. And I will not say like, oh, see, this is terrible. Did you see, like, this is so bad? Did you see, because this happened, I will now tell you that this is bad. And you should also think that this is bad. No, that's not what I'm going to do. I would just show you something or share something with you and then let you yourself decide for yourself whether it is okay or not. And even if you think differently from me, that doesn't mean that we are enemies now. No. We can still get along, even though our opinions differ. But I will not tell you to think differently or to think the same way that I do, or otherwise we can't be friends anymore. And again, that literally happened last night. So, what the fuck though? Like, what is, again, these people that are just so into their own mindset, that are basically just jumping to conclusions that whoever thinks differently from me is therefore automatically my enemy. What is with people nowadays? Like, it's crazy though. Like, again, to make a very stupid, like, example thing. For example, we have a fire thing. Like, for example, you have a lighter, right? You have a lighter, and basically, I'm going to tell you, like, hey, you should be, Abelfest. Like, you should be, you know, like, you have a lighter, you flick that fucker on, and then you tell, or you put your hand over it, and you're saying, like, oh, this doesn't hurt, even though you know that it hurts, right? And then you tell someone else, like, hey, this thing here, this lighter, friend, right? Put your hand over this, it will not hurt. And it's like, your friend might be skeptical at first, like, I'm pretty sure that will hurt, but, maybe it's like some kind of a false, like a fake fire thing, I don't know, right? And then then that friend puts the hand over the fire, and it is legit a fire thing, and they burn their hand. And then you're like, oh, fuck, like, shit, that fucking hurts. Like, why would you do that? But then the person holding the light is like, no, it doesn't hurt. I will tell you that it doesn't hurt. And if you say that it hurts, I don't agree with you, and therefore I'm not going to be your friend anymore. And that's like, it's a very simplified kind of thing that I'm trying to say, that you both know these things for yourself. You see that the opinions are different. But that doesn't mean that you cannot be friends anymore. This is just a practice that I'm absolutely against, for people who will isolate others purely for the sake of their own political agenda, whether it aligns with theirs or not. And that is a very dangerous thing to do, because this is exactly the divide that people are trying to create. And I hate it, and we shouldn't be dividing among one another. It is so crazy though. It is absolutely just stupid, just the way that people think. And I want people to go away from that. And I'm not saying for the right, thinking like the left, or the left thinking like the right. That has nothing to do with left or right. It has everything to do with common sense. Again, that's exactly the thing. That fucking game literally tells you, if you think this way, or if you go to these protests, then therefore automatically everyone is not going to be your friend anymore, and whatever. I'm going back in circles and whatever. But that is such a dangerous thing to do, because then it forces people to think a certain way. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be going to these protests. Maybe I should be thinking differently, because otherwise I will have no friends anymore. And that is so dangerous. And then having this idea of having people being trained to think what is right and wrong because someone else tells you to. Are you shitting me though? I mean, garbage rivals is bad, and if I play it, see, for example, right? Like a good example that Chris is saying here. Just because I play Marvel Rivals, and there are people who say that, oh, everyone who plays Marvel Rivals is a bad person, even though they were friends initially. Now they don't want to be my friends anymore just because I enjoy a game and they don't. What logic is that? What fucking child mentality logic is that? I'm just gonna do some quick matches though, no ranked, because otherwise that's gonna be fun. Not to mention, I do think that I can get out of plat. And I feel like if I play ranked, I at least want to have someone on my team that knows what they're doing.
I've done things I regret. Now I do things I can be proud of.
Hang on, my settings are being wonky because I have a new keyboard, I forgot. I need to set my settings to actual normal settings. No, I didn't. No, I didn't get to plat. I'm just gonna see here that everything is okay. So that and everything else is more or less in order. Also, like, I don't know what, like, the statement of let's agree to disagree, I feel like it's like trying to be like, I know what you're saying is bullshit, but I'm gonna be agreeing anyway because we're friends. I feel like it should just be, I accept your statements, and that's it. Well, that's okay, I think differently, nothing wrong with that. That's it.
I am Loki, goddess of mischief, and the queen of Asgard.
You picked the right gal for the job, sugar. Watch out, y'all. The gloves are off.
Ready to help me put the other team on ice, Rogue?
Uh-huh. I just wish I brought an extra layer of clothing with me.
What's the matter? Too cold for comfort?
Well, let's just say shivering around you reminds me what I liked growing up in the South.
I'm counting on you, friends. I don't think I could handle the pressure of the Dark Force.
Liking the whole shield thing? If the fight's still going, then so am I, sugar. Roll up.
Executioner!
If the fight's still going, then so am I, sugar. Ice up. I'm ready. You get away.
They don't care about people. People writing their checks.
Battlefield ready.
This is gonna hurt. Ain't getting rid of me so easy. Fire mode! Everybody powers rising, sugar. That one hurts. I'm still warming up. What have we got here? That throws me up.
I can feel them getting closer.
I like the cold. Don't be shy. Take Still got a lot left that's worth fighting for. Liking the whole shield thing. I like the cold. Nothing!
Powers of mine! Never fall!
Or a dagger. Next time I won't go so easy on you.
You get away with this.
Gambit never fall!
Please don't go down this easy.
Judge, jury, executioner!
Better get out of here. What we got here? another chance to win.
You are nothing!
Your powers are mine! Never fall!
Well, look who's up to no good. A nice deep freeze. Need some help.
Judge, jury, executioner! Judge!
I'm counting on you, friend. I'm made from stronger stuff than that. I like the cold.
1,000 gods! Didn't think I'd let you get away, did you?
You know what to do, spiders? We're finding our groove. Needs some run. We're so close. Hang on. A nice deep freeze. Don't you go quitting.
Yeah, I got the feeling that my ISB is currently just shitting itself.